Brothers and dear sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Around a year ago, a devastated brother named Imran Hussain came to us for some help. Imran was married for the last 15 years. He and his wife had 3 beautiful children together. Brother Imran worked hard to provide for his family. As the years went by, Maryam, Khadija and Isa were born. As with any relationship, there was good times and some difficult ones. But overall, Imran told us that he felt blessed, alhamdulillah. The love for his family made his life complete. He couldn't be more happier. He would take his family out to expensive holidays, buy his wife and children everything they wished and needed. Unfortunately, out of the blue, Imran suffered a stroke. He was bedridden for some months. He eventually returned to part-time work, but things were never the same again. He struggled to earn enough to be able to continue to provide the lifestyle his family were used to. This started to cause issues between him and his wife. Around 3 years ago, Imran returned home and found that his wife and children were not there. His wife's phone was turned off. Naturally, Imran started to worry. He frantically started to search for his family. He asked his neighbors, friends and family, but no one could assist. Eventually, in despair, he called the police to report them missing. The police told him, "There's nothing we can do. They are safe and well, and seek legal advice." At this point, the world that he mentioned that was complete turned upside down. Without any help and in a desperate state, the next morning he began to call solicitors' firms for help. One by one, he was told urgently, "You need to urgently apply to the court. Time is of the essence. The court will help you in locating your family." He was told, "Don't worry, within a short period of time, you should be seeing your children again. But we have to make these applications urgently. You will need to pay an initial sum, and we can discuss representing you in your court later." He was told from start to finish, the fees should cost around about £10,000. Desperate and vulnerable, he agreed. Around 5 months later, still not knowing anything about his family, he finally got a court hearing date. He was shocked to see that his wife was also present, but she was hiding behind a screen in the court. During the hearing, his wife's barrister informed the court that her client had fled with the children for her safety. Mr. Hussain has been physically, emotionally, financially abusive. Mr. Hussain has been coercive and controlled everything her client could do. She accused him further that her client was a prisoner within the home. He would use religion and religious texts to control her. If this wasn't enough, the court was then told that Mr. Hussain raped his wife throughout their marriage. She finally found the courage and fled with the children, seeking help from a women's domestic abuse organization. Brother Imran desperately tried to tell the judge that the allegations were not true. He begged them to allow him to see his children, but he could not. The court said the allegations are too serious and we cannot allow you to see your children. Shortly after the hearing, his wife applied for divorce and financial proceedings. Soon after that, he got the CMS saying he needed to pay £600 a month in child's maintenance. With delays after delays in the family court, after 2 years, his case finally progressed to a fact-finding trial, where he had to defend against all of these false allegations. His wife submitted absolutely zero evidence to substantiate her allegations. But on the other hand, Brother Imran had provided lots and lots of evidence. When the trial concluded, on the balance of probability, the court found that Imran was guilty of all allegations bar none. Shortly after that, his financial case concluded, and his wife was awarded occupancy and 95% of the share of his house. Almost immediately after that, Brother Imran had an injunction placed on him, which prevented him from going anywhere near his house and family. It was at this point, after spending all his life savings on legal fees, he couldn't continue with his solicitors. Somehow he found out about us. We worked with Brother Imran, helping him in his court case and supporting him emotionally. He showed us hundreds of photos and videos of the loving bond he had with his children. Brother Imran was about to give up as he couldn't come to terms with the grief of losing his children, his home, his reputation, everything. He could not comprehend why his wife of 15 years could turn on him so bad. We assured him that all is not lost. There is always hope. We will do our best to assist him in reuniting him with his beloved children. After all, this is what we do. It's not a matter of if, but when. Brothers and sisters, 5 days ago, I received a telephone call informing me that Brother Imran had passed away and is no more. It was confirmed he had died from a broken heart syndrome. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. My name is KHALID RASHID and I represent the Muslim Father Support Forum. 3 years ago this very month, the Muslim Father Support Forum was created. We are a grassroots frontline group that is made up of everyday men having to come to terms with the tragedy of withholding of child access, false allegations of abuse, asset extortion via financial proceedings, extortion whilst the child maintenance service. There is a lack of knowledge about the system that is in place. On hearsay, without any evidence, it treats fathers as guilty until they can prove themselves innocent. This goes against any social norms of innocent until proven guilty. There is a vast difference between the criminal and civil courts. For a criminal conviction, the burden of proof is a lot higher. In the civil courts, it's a lot lower. But in the civil family court, it comes down to interpretation by mainly non-Muslim judges to determine on the basis of probability if a Muslim father is guilty of domestic abuse or not. On average, a father will fight a minimum of 1 year to get to see his children, and the pleasure of which he will spend in the region of £20,000 to £40,000. We here at Muslim Father Support Forum help those who don't have these resources. We help them to get back with their children. We help them with court guidance and support, emotional support, trauma support, mentoring and coaching, Sharia support, and much more. Since our creation, we have had to evolve our services mainly due to the lack of support Muslim men receive through the government or our own Muslim establishments. Thus far, alhamdulillah, we have helped over 1,000 brothers with their cases. We have reunited hundreds of fathers back with their children, often when the solicitors and barristers have damaged their cases and exhorted thousands for the pleasure of doing so with little to no results. There was a total of 121,833 family cases in the UK in 2022. The vast majority of these private law cases were of fathers applying to gain access to their children. The majority of women in court are funded by legal aid. Legal aid is now only available via strict means-tested method or via being a victim of domestic abuse. I will use the example of this city alone. After legal aids were cut in 2013, in the following 2 years, court applications for non-molestation orders rose by 200%. And in the Birmingham Family Court, the increase was 775%. Not 75%, 775% raise in cases involving domestic abuse. I think these figures say it all. The heartbreaking story of Brother Imran cries out for injustice. For 15 devoted years, Imran gave everything for his family. His sweat, his tears, his life's earnings, and in return, he received only betrayal. Ripped from his children by false allegations, Imran was robbed of all he held dear. Though evidence cleared his name, the courts refused to listen. Bankrupted and barred from his own home, Imran sank into despair. This unfair system broke an innocent man. It tore a loving father from his children. How long will we stay silent while more fathers suffer this agony? How long until we demand real evidence in court, not just accusations? How long until we ensure legal aid is available for fathers who cannot afford justice? Brothers and sisters, Imran's cries for help from his very own community got ignored. Each time he turned to an imam or a mufti for help, they turned their backs on him. We must raise our voices as one to end these injustices. We must stand united to reform a broken system. Let us honor Imran's memory through action. We are all Imran in here. Let his story inspire us to protect fathers and children from this suffering. Justice delayed is justice denied. We must fight for it now. Before more families are ripped apart, we must hold our very own Muslim establishment and hierarchy to account. No more pandering to the feminist agenda and feminist lobbying. For Imran's children, Maryam, Khadija and Isa, they will never see their father again. For all innocent fathers, brothers and sons, let us unite for true justice. To our esteemed ulama and shaykh, you are the people that we respect and listen to. At your request, we mobilize and we take action. We donate generously. Yet when brothers like Imran reach out, they are ignored. We ask you to speak up. Untie your tongues. Fight this injustice using your platforms. To our sisters, this is not a man versus women issue. This is an issue of injustice and oppression. You are our sisters, our mothers, our wives. We respect and honor you. Join us in calling and preventing this abuse of fathers and children, before one day this affects your very own sons, brothers and nephews. Finally, Muslim Fathers Support Forum applied for charity status to help us get the funding we so urgently and desperately need. Unfortunately, we were declined because of the calling out of the Muslim feminism lobbying, calling out the government and legal systems that perpetuate the abuse of fathers. The very same activities are done by women's organizations who have a charity status, but for some reason, Muslim Fathers' activities go against the board's guidance. These are the daily challenges we face. This event is another example. Less than 24 hours ago, the original advertised venue informed us they can no longer allow us to use their venue. This was after a call from the police and the pressure from women's groups. The police, after complaints from members of a certain Islamic organization, we are sick and tired. Enough is enough. We refuse to be silenced. We reject the whataboutery each time a man decides to speak up. This is why your support is so important. We are totally independent and have extremely limited support in overturning the state-sponsored oppression. I ask for your support in this vital work. Lend us your hands and hearts to protect the vulnerable. Share your voice to demand change. Your help can save lives. Your compassion can heal. Please help Muslim Fathers Support Forum, either by volunteering and especially by donating, no matter how little or large. Please use this event as a starting point to help us fight this injustice. Just like to finish with saying to all of those who have faced injustice, know you are not alone. Help is here. Your voices will be heard. Your cause is just. Stay strong and keep faith, for Allah is with the oppressed. I'd like to say thank you to our esteemed panel here for turning up to help here. I'd like to thank so many familiar faces that I can see here, many of which are fathers who are going through this scenario right now. I thank you, the sisters, and above all, I thank you everyone for turning up. Jazakallah khair.